Quaxley's quick
Look!
to quell quakes. Quaxley's quick to quell quakes. There we go. I got it.
Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
It's Look, Listen with Geese Guyera and Taylor, episode 51 of Horizons Pokemon, episode 8. Clambos! Normally, it's a podcast about Pokemon and other things. And the other things, I would say, are the focus. And then at the end, we just talk about a Pokemon episode. This week, I will tell you, this is by far my favorite episode of the Pokemon Horizons. So I think it's very sick. I was laughing. The story was, I understood the conceit of the anime now. I see what they are doing with Liko and with this story. They're trying to be relatable to the youth. It's a good episode. And Taylor and Geese are here.
It's true. I like the episode. Favorite.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite, but
Certainly thrown around in terms like by far. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
those donuts though. Yum, yum, yum.
You're telling me, spoilers, you didn't laugh so hard at the end of the episode when spoiler person isn't interested in what Roy is saying, but then he pulls out his cleaning cloth and says, "But I bet you'll love this cleaning cloth."
Oh, yeah.
I was losing it.
I mean, it's a very funny episode.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Ever.
I did not
Number
chuckle
one.
at that.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on to Look and Play and Listen, which is actually pretty interesting, Clambos. I'll keep it real with you because Inside Baseball here, we just recorded yesterday. So the amount of time we've had to add to a Look and Play and Eaten, very short, very small.
Well,
You watched the entire Alien series since yesterday? Is that what you're saying?
Wow, Geese.
That's impressive.
no, I just wanted to talk about how hungry I am right now in this moment. And how much
Like Hogator.
She has a whole story,
Hogator.
Taylor. His name is
and,
Fuego.
and how I want Eggs Benedict so bad. And I was messaging Aaron. We were sending audio recordings via WhatsApp and talking about how hungry we are. And we recorded at the same time and sent at the same time. And we both were like, man, I really want Eggs Benedict.
Wow. Great minds think alike,
Yeah.
they say. Can you start saying hungy like Fuecoco instead of hungry?
She
I
says
I do say
hungry
that.
every day of her life.
Yeah, but you said hungry earlier, and it just bothered me a little bit. It's your choice of words. You know, you can do what you want, but
Not
you know.
everybody in India is familiar with the word hungy, Taylor.
You
She's
watch
on a
these
podcast.
You watch these episodes, yeah, 100% familiar.
I want Eggs Benedict so bad. I'm still thinking about the Eggs Benedict I had in Florida in January. It was hash brown Benedict, and it was so good. And
That did look incredible.
yeah, it was amazing. And I know Guyera is a hater.
He's had some bad hollandaise experience, is what I'm assuming, because hollandaise should not taste like mayonnaise.
No, I've tried it multiple times. It's still gross. I tried it with Taylor by the train tracks, like by Union Station, sort of. Remember we went to that cafe near there? You were all excited.
Which? Oh yeah. I wouldn't say that's remarkable.
Clambos, I can't do it. I can't with the hollandaise. I can't with the aiolis. Only some of the Thousand Island variants. So I always need to get it on the side. I think we already talked about coleslaw last week too, right? It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Last week, yeah. I wonder if
who are we talking to? Taylor.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm saying last week. I'm agreeing with you. It's the most I've ever agreed with somebody. I wonder if you would like homemade mayonnaise.
I don't know
because
if you
it has
would.
a very, very different flavor.
Let's not discuss mayonnaise. Is my idea of the week. Clambos, it's my
idea of the week.
We're trying a new thing where we don't tell me to eat mayonnaise.
Wait, can I say one more thing about Eggs Benedict? I like ravioli. I wish restaurants would give you more of a serving of it when you order it.
Geese is right. They do give you maybe like one little ravioli.
Can I say one more things about Eggs Benedict?
I like
Complaints about ravioli serving sizes?
Well, I
No,
can't.
it's like whenever I order eggs Benedict,
Uh-huh.
first of all, it's pretty expensive, and you usually only get 2, right? And so
Mhm.
I'm still hungry, and I wish they gave me like maybe 1 more, you know?
Can't they crack open 2 cans of Chef Boyardee for my eggs Benedict?
So there is a place, if you ever go to Bozeman, there's this really good place called
If you ever go to Bozeman,
Bozeman.
Is that in Texas?
that sounds like
Almost.
Montana to me.
It's Montana. What's it called? It's not. I keep thinking Broken Yoke, but it's not. It's one of the little cafes there.
Broken Yoke's something else, but
Yeah.
well, there's a easy solution for your problem, Geese, and it's the same thing I had to do when I just wanted some croissant. Taylor, could you pronounce the French word for cheese?
Croissant.
Croissant,
Mhm.
which is I was always unhappy with how much croissants cost because they would be minimum $3.25 for one croissant, unless you go to a grocery store, but those aren't that great anyway. Anyway, I always want a mountain of croissants. So what's my only solution? Go to a breakfast buffet at Disney. So I had to travel all the way to Disneyland, eat a bunch of croissants. Mickey Mouse is dancing around.
Shoving them in
It's
your mouth.
their buffet is incredible.
We do have a video of that for on the Gamook's channel. Everybody go watch Gamook's Let's Plays. That's a very good transition. Driving D-Van said yesterday he was unaware that we had just 1,000 Let's Plays. And I said, what are you talking about, D-Van? I've talked about it a million times. And I
Yeah.
linked him some good stuff. God, and I just watched, because I was clicking through.
Mm-hmm.
This is so funny to me that I just clicked a random Link's Awakening. And in it, I edited me getting a bunch of seashells at the end of the game real fast and put music on top. And I said to myself,
Sick.
I don't even remember having that skill. How did I forget that I knew how to edit? That's weird to me. I mean, it must have been simple.
I mean, do you remember how many thumbnails you were making?
Well, luckily, if it was the same series, you just swap out the number. But
Yeah.
I was making a lot of thumbnails.
I mean, some of those were so elaborate. What was the one where it took you a really long time because you just put? It's one of the most elaborate things I've ever seen. I wish I could remember the series.
Probably Bomberman Hero.
Probably.
They took out each sprite and
Yeah.
just made it. Anyway, but they don't look good. The idea is I went for that, what do you call it? Like, not idiot, but
Wink at the
clearly
camera.
I don't know what you're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
I just spend a bunch of time and throw a bunch of stuff at MS Paint. And hopefully, in an ideal world, it looks intentional and funny. And I think I accomplished that most of the time. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Jam Cafe is the name of the cafe in Bozeman. It'll give you 3 pieces of eggs Benedict, by the way.
Just
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
take that plane to Bozeman for the extra eggs Benedict.
I mean, it's a city worth visiting once or twice. I go there several times a year. Eggs Benedict is just, I feel like the portion is correct for the amount of effort that goes into it.
That's true, but I'm also like, I'm hungry.
I get it. I totally get it. I eat a crazy amount of food. It's just, it's a very laborious dish.
It is. I understand it, but like, if you're gonna put in that effort, put in a little bit more effort to make me another one, you know?
Okay. The final sentence I was going to say was, we need to get Geese to a buffet that has eggs Benedict, and then she can get 3.
Man.
Maybe, first of all, they would never make that for a buffet. That's way too much work.
They could with like some grungy hollandaise.
Yeah. Maybe in Vegas, Guyera.
It's a chance. I believe it.
Mm.
And then as far as playing video games, just Pokemon Go I play every day, so I'll mention that. I got a brand new 4-star perfect Pokemon, which are very rare.
Oh.
It's
What kind?
I'll show you exactly what kind. I always give them fancy names because they're such a big deal. This guy, I nicknamed Soul Invictus.
Oh,
And
that's so sick.
yeah, that's sick. And
There's spoilers for Final Fantasy 16 coming up. There's a sword named Invictus.
Can you see that, or is it not at all?
Oh,
there we go.
Soul Invictus. There we go.
It's a Whimsicott, 4-star.
Wow, that is not the Pokemon I thought it was going to be based on that name.
Well, they all get crazy names. All these guys are 4-stars.
I thought it was going to be something similar to Soul Blades.
Perfect, folks. His name is Ceruledge, but I got a Golduck named Kappa. I got a Rapidash named Pegasus, Houndoom named Cerberus. The list goes on. Leopard named Forsaken, Pangea Torterra. And then for food, yesterday, Clambos, okay. I knew it probably wasn't going to be good, but I kept seeing the ads for it, so I tried the Jack in the Box Snoop Dogg Munchie. So
Oh, no.
expensive. Sandwich was whatever. It's supposed to be a chicken with all this sauce on it, and they put it in a hot dog bun. I guess I get.
Ew.
Did he have?
It's just a bread. It's just a delivery mechanism, but
Is it a fried chicken? His
Yes.
famous fried chicken recipe.
his famous fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very
famous
famous.
fried chicken.
Very famous fried chicken.
His famous fried chicken in a hot dog bun. I get it because his name's Dog. Not great. The brownie, again, not great. Clam,
Really?
I just talked about this, but let me just set the story straight. Final, put it down on the table.
Okay.
Why did brownies used to be good? Brownies used to be incredible. Give me a corner piece, the texture, the flavor, outstanding. When I was a child, there was a product called Brownie Bites. The best snack in the world. You open the little white bag, you ate them, you said, oh my God, these are the best treat you could ever have in your little lunchbox. These days, that does not exist. There are other products called Brownie Bites, but they don't taste anything like the old Brownie Bites. They're completely, the actual product I used to eat went out of business or something. Or I don't know. They changed the flavor, changed the recipe. But
Could have just been cost effective to make it worse.
it's just all little Brownie Bites now have the same kind of artificially sweet taste, and the texture is way
Oh
off.
yeah, it's like spongy almost. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I really like?
Hmm.
The brownie brittle. Have you ever had that?
Is it like ravioli?
No, it's nothing like ravioli.
Peanut brittle. I don't know if I've had brownie brittle.
So I get it at Costco, and it's brownie that's been like really flat, so it's like hard and crisp. It's so good. It's so good. The days of me eating brownies, I think, are over for me. I think any kind of sweets, honestly, they just hurt my tummy
What?
too much.
What?
But I will say, back in the day, my favorite type of brownies, which you can also get at Costco, the Ghirardelli chocolate brownie mix at Costco. And they're so rich and so yum, yum, yum. And you get some cold vanilla ice cream, and you can put that hot brownie in it.
Oh my God. The whole world is trying to get me to want to go to Costco, and it's expensive. I mean,
Not really.
I can make up you're right. For $60, with how cheap the full pizzas are, I can make up that money. The problem is, to go all the way to Costco, I'm already going to be by raisins. And how am I going to avoid raisins? It's a whole...
That's a very good point. Costco's in Los Angeles are very inconveniently located and so incredibly busy. So with brownies, what you do is you take almond oil from the almond butter that you got at Costco that you've been pouring off the top to kind of decrease the fat content a little bit, because nobody needs that with as much almond butter as I eat. So you use that 1.5 times the oil you put in the recipe and a little less water, underbake it, add peanut butter chips, and sprinkle salt on the top.
Taylor's salivating telling his recipe. By the way.
I really am.
I can hear the...
It's very good.
peanut butter.
It's very good.
Taylor's like a rat. If you just put some peanut butter in a trap, he'd walk over there and die.
Or any other animal. Animals love peanut butter. Why's it gotta be a rat?
I don't often catch dogs with my peanut butter traps.
Yeah, but people feed dogs peanut butter all the time.
They do love it.
Yeah. That's apparently a training technique, is freezing a wooden spoon with peanut butter on it, and when the dog does something good, you let him lick it.
Remember the little peanut butter ball that Medley plays with?
Nope.
What is this?
Stephen and Shelley's dog, Medley.
Mhm.
The peanut butter ball. She's always...
Where you put
you mean
peanut
the
butter
toy that
inside of
has
it?
peanut butter in it?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what I was picturing. I was picturing some kind of like a Ferrero Rocher just made out of peanut butter and rolled in peanuts, and she
No.
would play with it instead of eat it.
It's just a fun thing for a dog to do. Good exercise, good for mental.
Like the Kong toy.
Probably. That sounds reasonably familiar. But they're just running around the floor trying to get at the peanut butter, trying to figure it out. Geese, let's hear about your watching, playing, goofing this week. Even though you already talked about Eggs Benedict. But you can talk about Sims or Meatball Pizza.
Well, she didn't get to eat it.
What? She didn't get to eat Meatball Pizza with Mom?
No, I didn't
No,
get
she
to eat
didn't get
Eggs
to eat
Benny.
Eggs Benedict.
All right. Well, let's hear about Meatball Pizza and Sims.
Yeah, Meatball Pizza, sequel to Licorice Pizza.
That's a good movie.
Meatball Pizza was good. Nothing really extraordinary to report on that. In terms of gaming, getting that Sims itch. Now on my Instagram, I'm getting suggested posts about parenting, Japan, and Sims 4.
Perfect.
Oh.
So I think tonight I'm gonna stream with Aaron and keep renovating Barbie and Smeagol's apartment.
Smeagol gets to live in like a hallway, Taylor.
Oh, okay. I was very
Yeah.
confused by Smeagol and Barbie.
He has to
Because it's a classic pairing. I just didn't know the backstory of it.
he has to poop in the bush.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Say
a
no
bush
more.
pooping.
Say no more. You've elucidated the matter enough. Go on, Geese.
He's locked out of the rest of the apartment. He only lives in a little closet. But yeah, I think I'm getting that itch. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They announced that they're putting out a new Sims 4 expansion, and it's horse themed.
Oh my god.
Geese, do you like horses?
I like horses. In real life, they're kind of scary. But
Oh my
I
God.
do like them.
Wait, whoa. You really believe that?
No, that's her famous lie she tells.
I just don't know if she's joking because I've never heard another person on the planet describe horses as scary, and I'm terrified of them.
I feel like that's like a common thing.
Introduce me, Geese, because I've never met another person. I always feel like the odd man out. I feel like I'm going insane.
They're so big, and like they
Yeah.
can really kick you and like hurt you.
Mm-hmm. And their teeth are huge. There's no way they're not eating people.
The teeth.
I love feeding horses though, because you just like put your hand flat and you can just,
Nope.
feel their like
Nope.
lips on your
Yep.
hand.
Into the jaws of death, a geese peep feeding video. That's what they would call you feeding horses. Terrifying animals. What have I been watching? Lot of turn of the century Japanese horror. So many of the Grudge movies or Ju-on movies. And that scared me so much. Did either of you see that in theaters?
Ding. Theaters? No.
I was terrified of everything after that. So, like being alone, being in the dark, stuff like that. And I normally don't get that scared during movies, but it was pretty bad for that one. So, I'm going to say maybe 1 or 2 weeks after I see that movie. Everybody knows the famous attic scene where like the cleaning lady's like hearing noises in the attic. And
Geese is shaking her head no. And
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Grudge.
No, what?
You've never heard of it?
No, I don't
Do you
do
like scary
spooky
movies?
movies.
Oh, you don't like them? Well, don't watch this one. But there's a scene at the beginning of the movie that kind of introduces the curse as it's this really scary scene where this lady pops her head in an attic and then she gets snatched by a ghost. So preceding that, she hears footsteps, and that's what makes her want to investigate it, which has never been my personality type. If I hear something in another room, I'm like, doors closed, done for the night.
No, we say, is there a ghost boy up there? Is there a child ghost?
I want no part of it. I've no quarrel with you, lad. So I'm sitting in my bed.
By the way, ego ga wakarimasu ka?
Starting with, by the way.
He'll say, yeah, nice, little boy.
So I'm laying in bed, and I still don't know exactly what caused this, but in the middle of the night, I hear a bunch of noise in the attic, and something runs so fast from the top of my room, over my bed, all the way down the house to my mother's room. I scream, as you do.
That'll scare that raccoon.
get so scared. Well, here's the interesting thing. About a month later, we had to have the air conditioning worked on, and somebody went into the attic, and I said, I heard something up there, and I want to make sure it's not still up there, like an animal, like a squirrel or something.
Or three
And
ghosts.
the guy says, there's no sign of droppings or any animal ever being in your attic, and it's fully sealed. And I'm still scared of that. Still won't go in the attic. Some nonsense.
Why would ghosts need to run though?
I mean, why do ghosts need to do anything at all?
Well,
They just float though.
They're not real, Geese, so it's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so other than that, pretty much just playing Final Fantasy 16. What a game. It's so good. It has my favorite battle music in the series.
Wow.
I've read a couple of complaints about it just because I'm always kind of curious to see what people say. And I kind of disagree. It's just great. It's a fantastic game. Very, very sick. And every time you think it can't get any sicker, it gets sicker.
Here's what I'm excited about Final Fantasy 16. Sounds like to me this is going to be a game I'm not going to find myself stopping playing. I feel like this is going to be a great experience where I just play it the whole way through, much like a Final Fantasy 7 remake, and not like a Final Fantasy 15 where I get overwhelmed and there's too much to do and I just quit playing.
I will say that's probably going to be pretty accurate. It feels more like any other Final Fantasy that I've played, to be honest with you. Maybe it's because of how cinematic it is. Maybe it's because there is like, you feel like the journey takes place over a long period of time. It really feels like an adventure. Ooh. I was playing it for a little while and I realized I would just play it again.
Who's the hottest character in the game?
It's I mean, obviously Clive, but it's between Clive and Sid. All of the female characters look kind of like chipmunks.
Oh, they do. Well, you would love not Clive, Sid's voice, Geese. Everybody loves his voice. Gesundheit! Gesundheit!
Choke you, Shaw.
Sorry, I looked at this man. He was so hot that I had a visceral reaction.
Allergic to it? Which one?
Clive. No, he's not my type.
Just listen to Sid's voice. That's what's going to get you.
Yeah.
Just type in Sid voice Final Fantasy 16. Although a triple sneezer?
Give yourself a little mute ski.
Taylor's got... Geese is doing very dramatic.
This is like a southern woman being affronted.
Does Taylor have misophonia for sneezes?
Nah, it's just loud.
Just don't.
Sorry.
You know what the crazy thing is? I complained one time to Guncan because she had a really loud sneeze in the car, and it hurt my ears.
She's gonna hold it against you the rest of your life.
Every single time since I said that, it's gotten louder. I don't understand it. I feel like people in other apartments can hear it. Other cars can hear it. It's so weird.
She's got that Turkish sneeze. What can you do?
I guess so. By saying her sneeze was too loud.
Talk about your macaroni and chicken.
Oh, yeah. I had macaroni and chicken. It was pretty sick.
That's so sick.
What is that? Is that like macaroni and cheese and chicken, or just like macaroni the pasta type?
Yeah, just some dry macaroni and a piece of chicken. No, it was a piece of grilled chicken.
Macaroni, just crunchy macaroni.
Sometimes Guncan will have like a bunch of catering leftovers. And yesterday, I think they had, I don't know, Outback Steakhouse or something. So she brought me a giant tray of macaroni, and I basically just add cheese to it, bake it for a little bit, broil it for a little bit. It's pretty sick.
Oh, that's so sick.
You know what I love? I love like the really big macaroni pieces, and then oven roasting some broccoli, throwing that in there, some olive oil and vinegar, raw red peppers. Yum, yum, yum.
What is this, a salad? That sounds like a salad.
Got her.
It's a pasta dish. It's cooked macaroni, and you just add broccoli and red peppers.
So macaroni and cheese, and you add veggies to it?
No, there's no cheese.
Oh, I see. Okay, I was a little bit confused. Although, from a food standpoint, like a flavor balancing standpoint, adding a little bit of vinegar to macaroni and cheese should be good.
So here's what I do. Look.
Here's what Geese does.
Listen.
I'm very picky about mac and cheese. What I do is I get the Annie's white cheddar box mac and cheese, make that, little bit of milk with it, and then I add some vodka sauce, red pepper flakes, and then maybe like paprika a little bit. That's how I like to make it.
You know what you should try? Kind of bump up the box mac experience. Make a roux, turn it into a cheese sauce, then add the packaged macaroni seasoning.
I'm not the biggest fan of roux. Do you know what roux is, Guyera?
Yeah, isn't it like au jus?
Almost. It's in that it is a French term, but it's basically equal parts butter and flour, and you use the butter to cook the flour. Then you normally add a like a dairy, like a milk, and you can that'll make anything that you put into it, which is normally cheese, kind of emulsify and not separate.
Mary's, is it time for Poke News of the Week?
Yeah.
There's never been a more thrilling time for a Poke News of the Week.
Poke News of the Week.
News of the week.
That poor micro. Geese, you want to try one more time on that mic?
Yeah, it's perfect.
This is what it sounded like to us.
Poke News of the week.
That's no bad. All right. Not a ton of news this week on account of, you know why, it's been 24 hours, but Sarah B reports that a special new manga entitled Snorlax's Dream Gourmet, drawn by everyone's favorite mangaka, Taku Kuwabara, will be released in Japan.
Kuwabara-san. That's from Yu Yu Hakusho.
I was almost through the sentence.
He more says Kuwabara.
Kuwabara. Autumn 2023, as part of the Project Snorlax campaign. Do you both see the cute little picture of Snorlax dreaming of food, listening to his music?
Do you guys like lobster?
Nope.
Taylor's not
Me
a
either.
seafood. He's not a seafood girl.
I've gone more than a decade at this point just wishing that I could love seafood. It's so
Me too.
healthy. It's supposed to be incredibly good. I keep trying it. At least once every 2 weeks, I'm trying seafood, and it just tastes awful to me all the time.
I wish I liked it too, especially because I'm from Maryland and, crabs are big here. But I don't like it. The only seafood I like is tuna, scallops,
Champion scallops.
shrimp,
Nope.
and that's it.
So my favorite seafood story is Taylor. His mother's so cruel, if you ask me. She was always forcing Taylor to pick her up a big box of smelly seafood.
Oh, no. I had blocked this. Oh, double therapy for the next month. Oh, my God.
Oh, Geese isn't interested. She's looking out the window.
I'm interested. I was just looking at a bird. Go on.
So Taylor hates the smell of this seafood so bad, but he's forced to drive it from Village Pizza and Seafood to his mother. So he has to roll down the window of his car and put the food on top of the car with his hand on it and then steer the wheel with the other hand.
So bad.
Why didn't she just order delivery? Oh my God.
Or pick it up herself.
Or
it was
pick-
like 4 blocks away.
It's very close. I could walk easily.
So bad. What a scent. Like, what an odor. And this is one time I was on either bus or train in Los Angeles, and this guy just, no, it wasn't even public transit. It was an Uber. It was a shared
Uber
This
pool?
guy- oh, yeah. This guy has this gigantic box of seafood that's just sitting in the back seat. And I'm like,
What?
Wait, the driver?
No, it was the other guy in the Uber pool.
Okay, but look, this is great
Listen.
because you can get a refund for that easily. Very
I should
easily.
email them. I should
you
email
tell
them.
him you were going to Vombo.
It was so bad. It was
You're
so bad.
not
And it
allowed.
was just an open cardboard box of just a bunch of like catfish or something.
Oh my god!
Oh.
It was so bad. And I was sticking my head out the window and I just kept looking at the guy and he was just fine. He was just good with it.
100% that's a refund. So for Uber, 100%. Bus,
Time to
you
deal
can
with
get
Uber's famous customer service.
for a bus. You can get what they when Popcorn Man tried to get us, they removed the charges and attacked him
That's
instead.
true. Although that was a very flagrant abuse of that system by him.
As far as seafood and me, I adore shrimp. It's very delicious. Fish and chips, delicious. Sushi, some of it I like. I'm not like Geese. I don't like the tuna. Once you get to things like squid and octopus, no thank you. That stuff tastes like, well, A, you shouldn't even eat those guys because they're way too intelligent. But B, you start eating that, you taste like, you think, oh no, my body's telling me, nature is telling me this is a wrong decision. I might
I
as well be eating batteries.
one of our friends is from Cyprus and he grew up eating octopus. So he actually did a pretty good job of preparing it, but I ate it once and I was talking to Guncan on the way home and I was like, I'm never doing that again. Have you ever seen video? Like, I don't want to be rude or anything, but they have dreams. I'm already not okay with eating animals most of the time. So
Did your friend do the thing where he whacked the octopus a bunch?
thank God it was already dead. And there wasn't any preparation beyond cooking that I saw. There wasn't anything that looked like, Hostel Part 3.
Jesus. All right, Geese, how about you tell us the English name of the Pokemon episode today?
Poke News. Oh, sorry. Go on.
The Secret of the Unopened Door.
Which sounds way more mysterious than the actual episode is. Or in Japanese, okay, we got to put a curtain on Geese's window because these birds are.
Yeah, just tell us. Just at least exclaim.
Why? Okay, here's the thing. All of the babies are now like full-on fledglings, so they're all about, and they're very cute, and I like
Oh, and
watching the
they-
parents feed them.
Or in Japanese, Akazu no Tobira no hi mi tsu.
I thought that was it. I thought it was Akazu.
All right, Clambos, it's my favorite episode of this particular series. Liko wants to learn about Dot. We start off with Roy, nighttime, sneaking around, and we hear in the kitchen Uncle Fritos and Murdoch, and they're whispering, and it's very suspicious, Clambos. What are they talking about in there?
I'm very happy that they had the music choice they did, because had they not had that bright, like, fun little music, I would have 100% thought somebody was scheming.
Captain Pikachu's in there. The words they're using, Clambos, make it sound like they're villains and they're hatching an evil scheme. We see an Al Creamy in a little hidden cabinet where they hide secret treats. And it's just some donuts. Oh my God, Clambos.
So good though. They look so
Mhm.
good.
I'm getting donuts tomorrow.
Frito tells Roy to go back to sleep. We see more of the donut trap. It's not clear right this second why there's a bunch of donuts in a cabinet. We're going to learn later exactly why. Oh my God, here's what I have written down. Why does Quaxley have an adult Japanese man voice? Not a Pokemon voice. He just says in a Japanese middle-aged man voice, Quaxley. And I'm
so glad you said that, because I was thinking the same thing.
oh my God. There's no, and then he'll switch later in the episode to be like, "Meh." And I just think, what happened to Japanese man voice?
Just imagine, Fritos calls his trusty companion Charizard, and Charizard just goes, Charizard.
Charizard. I'm sure Quaxley will be cute in English, Clambos, don't worry. We cut to the next day, Geese, and we got tea for everyone. And looks like they already ate because they don't want to draw the food. And Geese, what can they not believe about Dot?
That she never leaves her room?
And she never wants to eat tasty food like the rest of them. What does she eat instead, Geese?
Gummies that have all the nutrients she needs.
Oh my God,
The whole gummy situation really says a lot about the world the fact that that's even an option. Because
What?
that means
Well-
all eating is optional.
No.
Like, all eating is
What?
just for enjoyment.
What are you saying?
I
in
mean, you could
Pokemon.
drink Soylent right now if you wanted and get nutrition that way.
Right. I
Same
guess
as the
that's
real
true.
world.
I guess that's true.
She's watching her figure. Oh no, Clambos, they're running out of food. Somehow, all the ingredients for sweets are going missing. I wonder who the culprits are.
I'm more confused as to why Chef isn't in charge of the food storage system.
That's a great point. What a great point, Taylor.
Thank you.
You mean instead it's a group decision?
Well, what's her face name is the one who reports on it. Looks like she tracks it.
Oh, I see. She must be inventory management for the whole ship.
I guess that makes sense.
Or
But
just really nosy.
This scene is hysterical because all the women are suspicious of Fritos and Murdoch. Very amusing scene, I think, when Fritos and Murdoch are trying to play dumb. Like, they don't know, where's all the sweets going? I don't know. But all the women are suspicious. The great idea is, why don't we just stop at the next town and we'll buy some more sugar for all the sweets. We can't make it to Paldea with no sweets.
in this economy,
Got him. And Geese, then one of my favorite little moments happens. Do you recall what happens when Frito says, look, we're just
Listen.
going to ask Captain Pikachu if we're going to stop and get some sweets. And Captain Pikachu says, Pika. And then Frito says, great, it's settled.
and Oreo's like, that seems like a kind of a sketchy translation. Because Captain Pikachu says it like Pika, like he's confused.
Okay, Clambos, I don't know what's wrong with Geese and Taylor. This episode is peak because you have so many meta little Pokemon commentaries. You've got this. Are you translating that correctly when somebody's just listening to a Pokemon say their name? And then you've also got later on in the episode, big spoilers, you have a Pokemon battle take place. And Uncle Frito says verbatim, wow, you gained some good experience from that battle. Like it's a video game. This episode's a good one.
Plenty of sick little moments,
I'll
but
hear nothing to the
I know why Geese didn't like it. It's because we're still not to the part that she's waiting for when the adventure starts. Guarantee that's why she didn't like it.
We're almost to Paldea. We're right there. Spoiler.
I don't think the adventure's ever starting. I think we're getting drip-fed plot for the rest of the show.
Did you not watch Next Time on Pokes?
No, I never watched that.
You're supposed to.
Well, all I'm going to say is I watched long enough to know about territory defense.
Okay, now here's the only problem. If we go to the town, it's going to delay the Paldea trip, Geese's favorite thing.
All right, let's skip it.
So the poor kids got to do boring online classes while the rest of the crew gets the ship ready to land. Ooh, guess what, Geese? Who's doing a stream today?
Gormon.
Nito Thing, that's correct. She's speaking in Japanese, but Nito Thing is her Japanese, her English name. It's very rare for Nito Thing to do a live stream. Normally it's just uploaded video.
Yeah.
Roy loves doing his online classes outside up on the deck, just like when he was in Kanto. He'll do an online class anywhere. A stump? Sure.
I feel like the glare would be really bad, though.
Oh, don't worry. It's Pokemon times. They've invented anti-glare tech.
Yeah, no glare.
I actually have a comment. No, wait. Never mind.
Tell me.
Taylor,
Tell
go
me.
ahead.
Oh, God, I'm so curious, Geese. You can't don't do us dirty like that, Geese.
I actually have something to say. Wait, never mind. I could never.
Well, I was just going to say, after this, Uncle Frito comes and he's talking about Dragon Guy with Roy.
Shiny
and
Rayquaza.
how Shiny Rayquaza and
Rayquaza.
how he flies in the stratosphere, so you can't even see it because it's so high up. And he talks about how it's a place that no humans have been to. So my question is, do they not have space programs in
Definitely
Pokemon
don't.
World?
They do.
Okay, so you could interpret that one of two ways. One way would be, oh, Rayquaza is in a place that people haven't visited, or there are Pokemon in places people haven't visited. So they could have gone to the moon, but he says there are Pokemon on Mars and we haven't been there. Stuff like
there's
that.
no Pokemon isn't Earth, but
Or, I mean, equivalent.
it is based on Earth.
But they definitely have a moon.
Correct. Yeah, Clefairy Coast. Deoxys is from space. They have technology for space travel.
There's a lot of Pokemon from space, but I think, don't they usually come out of like portals and stuff?
That's not from space. That's from a different dimension. You're thinking of Ultra Beasts, completely different from being quote unquote from space.
How could you make that mistake, Geese? Everybody knows
I'm so
Ultra
sorry.
Beasts.
But
are
I will
from
tell you,
dimensions.
the Ultra Beast dimension, I bet they love traveling in space. That dimension's so crazy, Calambos, they don't even have fire, water, grass starters. They'll give you a starter that's a 2-stage evolution poison type. Are you kidding me? Poiple?
Whoa.
Naganadel? You out of your mind?
That sounds crazy.
It's crazy. Crazy.
But if it makes you feel better, what Uncle Fritos is saying does not necessarily imply that people have not gone to space. It just implies that there are Pokemon where people have not traveled.
Anywho, Roy's looking up into the sky, trying to see if he can find Rayquaza. He is unsuccessful, and I believe he falls over onto the ship deck.
Something that I'll probably bring up every time I think of it this episode. Roy is, in my opinion, a very well-written kid. He actually acts like a kid.
Oh, yeah, with the cleaning cloth? You out of your mind?
The cleaning cloth, I'll tell you a secret. Ooh, I can't see Rayquaza. I better look real high. Like, he does so many things that are just like a kid, and I really appreciate that. There was one of the seasons, it was like season 3 of Stranger Things. All the acting was, phenomenal, but the only character who was acting his age was Lucas. It was like everybody else was like, I'm 14 and have a very complex understanding of emotional expression. And Lucas was like, I'm a kid. So I appreciate it.
Speaking of Roy being a kid, Fritos goes on to some big speech about how much he knows about Pokemon and Rayquaza. And during this, Roy, of course, runs off away from him because he spots land. Oh my God, it's the little town. He's losing his mind. Because Clambos, remember, Roy has never left his little island in Kanto. So to him, going to a new place, that's a big deal.
It was very, because I don't think he would have said that to Liko. I wonder if Liko would have said, I'm actually surprised none of the adults were like, oh, Roy should see a town.
I've already written that down, Taylor. I am furious. Okay, so they have to try to decide who's going to remain on the ship and watch the ship. Even though Ludlow is already there and Dot, they can watch the ship. But they have to do a big giant game of rock, paper, scissors. And unfortunately, Roy loses, but then he begs Liko to watch the ship for him because he really wants to see the town, and it's okay because Liko wants to stay anyway. And so she's like, oh, this works out great. I'm going to look like I'm doing a favor, but really, I just want to stay here and watch the live stream. All I'm getting at is, why didn't have they no compassion to say, hey, Roy, you've never been outside your island.
Or sense of safety. The newest member and youngest member of our crew who doesn't have a Pokemon that can really fight, you watch the ship. All those assassins with their Skarmories and everything. Yeah, don't worry about it. Roy's got it.
Roy, please, come join us. Have fun. They're going to let him lose?
He's the one searching for Black Rayquaza.
Maybe that's a Japanese thing, but I don't.
Yes, Geese.
Why is that even necessary? Because old man Fisher guy is there anyway.
Ludlow's already on there.
The big thing I think they wanted to do was show Roy getting excited with Fuecoco about rock, paper, scissors, because that was very adorable.
We're in the town, Clambos, and Roy is amazed. He's seeing so many Pokemon he's never seen before. There's a Furret, there's a Rotom, there's a Rosalia, a Staryu, an Espion, a Squovit, a Sableye, a Stuffle, a Galarian Darumaka, a Maractus, a Luxio, a Glamio, and a Slagoo.
Oh, speaking of lists of things, Geese, I'm wearing a shirt from a dive shop in Florida.
Sick.
Yeah, thought I'd mention it because you go to Florida all the time.
But Roy has never left his island, like we said, Clambos, and it was very rude for them to try to deprive him of seeing this one, if you ask me. Everybody's going to split up to do the shopping to save time. All of your individual shopping lists are on your little Rotom phones. Geese, do you remember what Fuecoco sees in the window that he really wants?
Some berries.
And he's hungry.
To be fair, he's basically a gigantic mouth with feet.
Yeah. But, okay, Clambos, here's the problem. We got a tight budget. We can't be buying fun stuff. No messing around. Just got to buy sugar and sweets. Roy's in trouble because he says, I'm going to go and run around and ask everybody about Shiny Rayquaza, and starts to run off. And this was, I don't know if they're going to edit this in English, but Uncle Fritos grabs his arm pretty forcefully and says, no. You're not doing that. You're going to do the shopping.
It is fun.
Yeah, I guess. Then we cut to Liko. I think she's singing the Nido Thing song as she's doing her little chores. She's watching the poke, she's feeding, and she's mopping the poop deck. And there's a cute scene, Geese. What happens with Sprigatits and the mop? Water?
Doesn't like the water.
I like how I'll ask Geese a question sometimes, and rather than conjugate a full English sentence, she'll just use a verb. She won't bother with a noun. She'll just say it doesn't like water. Sprigatito and Liko give each other a nux after all the chores are done. We get a flashback to what Taylor was talking about. Liko hearing about this secret treats cabinet. Roy promised he would tell Liko a big old secret if she agreed to watch the ship instead of him.
So adorable.
That was the big secret, that there's a secret treats cabinet in the kitchen. The very same secret treats cabinet that Frito and Murdoch were playing in earlier. Full of donuts. Geese. What happens?
Yeah.
Geese. When Liko opens the secret treats cabinet.
She gets creamed.
Al Creamy is so upset. Al Creamy hides in the secret treats cabinet and just blasts her with cream, and she's completely covered. Amusingly, Murdoch calls it that exact second, and Liko thinks she's in big trouble, that Murdoch immediately knows that she went in the secret treats cabinet. Now he's upset, but no, he has no idea. He's just calling her to let her know, hey, there's some lunch boxes, there's some bentos if you want to eat. She says, oh, okay, thanks. Hangs up the phone real fast. Liko says a very funny line, which is that she's not a fan of secrets and sneaking around. I can't handle the stress. And then I see Ludlow, and then I'm extra upset that they even pretended to say that Roy couldn't go to the town. Okay, Geese. Now, what does Liko do with turns out there's an extra lunch. Who's it for?
It's for Dot, and she tries to deliver it to Dot's room, but Dot is not having it.
Got to quickly comment on this, Taylor. Did you notice when Ludlow said a pun, a Japanese pun? He just kept saying bento, bento, bento. And Liko walked away. That's a running gag they do a lot, which is somebody's trying to make a joke or say something, another person just leaves in the middle of them talking.
Mm-hmm.
They then did this Japanese thing, which I don't know how they'll translate to English. Maybe they'll just not even acknowledge it. But Snowrunt uses a little ice attack kind of thing that makes the room cold.
Right.
And that's a Japanese, what's the word?
Idiom?
Maybe. In Japan, if somebody says something, a joke, and nobody laughs, the idea is everybody gets cold after that.
Oh.
That's the, God, there's a good word for this. Geese, help me.
Shorthand?
No. You know, it's just like how we associate things. We have little expressions or whatever.
Like we would have crickets chirping.
Yes. Thank you, Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's a similar analogy. So in Japan, everybody gets cold because a breeze goes through. A cold breeze of nobody laughing.
They might, I could see them just having crickets in the localized version of it. Because most of the time, they just ignore that and don't really explain it. I watched the Soul Eater anime in Japanese first and then English because it had, what's his name? The guy who voices Death the Kid in that is one of my favorite voice actors. And one of the funniest parts of the whole show was just totally skipped over.
Well, there's something in Japanese Geese and I saw in Sun and Moon, and I still don't have an answer about what this is referencing in Japanese culture. I even asked somebody who lived in Japan. They didn't know. Do you remember, Geese, when Jesse went like this? I don't know what that means. Clambos, please write into looklistencast@gmail.com if you know what blowing up
means
your cheek and then making an OK symbol over the air in your cheek means. I don't know what it means. It means something. Okay, so now we're at Dot's door. Liko's got her little bento. Sprigatito's playing with the doggy door.
This was one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Geese, what song do we hear from behind the door?
Neato thing.
Exactly. And then we get a big argument, misunderstanding back and forth. Liko's yelling about how big of a fan of Nito thing she is. And I bet, Dot, you and me could be great friends since we both love Nito thing. And Dot just keeps yelling, can you leave? Can you shut up? Please go. And then Liko says, man, I bet she really just is testing me as a Nito thing fan. So I'm going to keep pressing the matter.
That was so funny. Shut up and go away. A test about my fandom.
Liko's going on. Daisuke Nito thing. I love it. And then I was really laughing at this one because this is some good stuff here. She notices that the live stream was supposed to already start, and in reality, it hasn't started because Liko is bothering Dot. So she hasn't had a chance to start the live stream. But Liko says she is always late to start her live stream. Which, if you are involved in any sort of community where there's a streamer and she doesn't start the live streams on time, you're going to find this very, very relatable and funny. Oh, my God. But then I think eventually Dot convinces Liko to leave. And then Dot's sitting there complaining about how much she hates IRL relationships because she's too busy. And we actually see Dot, Geese. She looks sick.
She looks very sick. I want to know what her mom looked like, because where'd she get the purple hair?
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe Murdoch's a stepdad? I don't know.
He seems like a dad.
Clambos,
But that's not her dad.
It's her uncle?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he seems like an uncle. That's what I said.
Yeah, step uncle. I don't think Dot's Quaxley approves of how Dot was treating Liko. That's just me. That was my reading of his elderly Japanese man voice, but
100% correct. When he said Quaxley, I thought, yeah, you don't like this.
Okay. Taylor, Geese, the two of you work together on this because we cut from this scene to the most adorable image this series has ever had. We got a baby Spoinky in a cute little smock and a little clam pearl wearing a bow tie. Oh my God. You wouldn't believe how fast I hit the screenshot button on the computer.
It's very cute.
Very cute.
Oh my God. So there's this man on the side of the road in his little stall. He's selling cleaning cloths to the passerby with his unbelievably adorable Pokemon. He's showing how good his cleaning cloth works on the little pearl on top of Spoinky's head and the little pearl inside of Clam Pearl's mouth.
Related to this guy a lot, as one, I just ordered a whole bunch of cleaning cloths that have our logo on them.
Ooh.
2, we sell pearls. Yeah.
Poor baby Roy is too naive. I realized right away in this scene, oh God, nobody's ever told him about scams. He's just ready to buy this cleaning cloth. The cleaning cloth salesman convinces them that he'll tell them about Shiny Rayquaza and maybe some explorers asked about Shiny Rayquaza if they just buy this cleaning cloth. Cut back to the Nito stream. Liko is very excited when the stream starts, and she wakes up Sprigatito, who is very annoyed. And this is why I have to push back on you two, because you two, for some reason, were agreeing, oh yeah, they're trying to pretend that Sprigatito and Liko have a perfect relationship and their personalities are the same. No, they're going to slowly build it. It's fine.
I mean,
no.
I think that was pretty explicitly stated.
No.
And Liko's been saying, oh, Roy, you just have to form a bond with your Pokemon.
No.
I'm an old master.
No, not at all. So there's a big Ask Me Anything stream going on. So all the chat is asking Nito Thing questions, and Liko's going to ask her question too. We cut back to Roy and Fritos. Oh, man. That cleaning cloth was so expensive. They swindled them. But luckily, we did get a little bit of information about the explorers, because explorers are also looking for, well, specifically Amaranth is very much looking for Shiny Rayquaza because that's his new goal. Isn't that right, Geese?
Yeah.
I do really like that they're establishing the explorers' movements and motivations without showing them. That's really cool to me. Because normally, I feel like certainly in the last one, if this happened, which I don't think it ever did, oh, Team Rocket, we just saw them. It would immediately cut to Amaranth in this scenario.
So then we cut back to Liko. And Geese, why don't you tell us what happens right after Liko types in her comment to the stream?
So Nido thing starts reading her comment.
Oh my god.
And Liko so blushed and looks like she's gonna burst.
Her username's like Sprigatito Lover 735
or something, yeah.
Clambos. Liko loses her she screams so loud that she ruins the live stream in the other room because Nido thing basically falls out her chair because of how loud the scream is. Do you remember the question, Geese, what the question was?
Yeah, it was like, oh, there's this person who's in her room all the time and doesn't seem to want to interact. Like, how do I become friends with her?
And Nido thing gets flustered because I think she realizes this is Liko in the other room. So she gives a very bad answer that's just, change your surroundings. It's like a Pokemon battle. And Quaxley looks at Nido thing and goes, Quaxley? What? How is that anything like a Pokemon battle? But this is the moment when this show completely turned for me. And I realized, oh, I get the conceit of the show. I understand what its goal is. It is speaking to the youth and the new generation of people who watch live stream. Then we cut to Frito and Roy. Roy found a Spearow in the bush. And this Spearow is upset. I wonder why he's upset. Maybe we'll find out in a seminar later. Who's to say? Go, Fuecoco! Buggies. What happens between Fuecoco and Spearow?
Go, Fuecoco, but Geese.
Spearow pecks at Fuecoco, gives him the old turnaround.
Gives him the old one, too. And Fuecoco uses Amber, and he got him. Oh my god, he won the Pokemon battle. He won the Pokemon battle, Clambos. Hugs all around. Fuecoco and Roy are hugging. And then we get the classic line from Frito. You got some good XP.
Yeah.
That's very good. Okay, then we cut to Roy. Oh, this is so good. And this goes back to what Taylor was talking about, him being a little kid. Roy rushes straight to Dot's room after returning to thank Dot again for the little drawing of the Rayquaza. And Roy is so hopped up from his battle. He's just he's hot to try. He just says, oh man, hey, Liko, you want to battle right now?
So much adrenaline.
Let's battle, as he's talking about the Spearow battle. And I wrote down here, Roy is like Geese by some coleslaw. And then Liko says, well, you want to battle right here? And then she remembers back to the terrible advice from Nido thing, change your surroundings. And she said, all right, we will battle right in front of Dot's door. And Dot is so upset.
So many things make that very, very funny. Liko misinterpreting Dot's words right in front of Dot's door. Roy so excited. Them going back and forth between, oh, should we go to the giant battle stage or should we just fight in the hallway?
It was so funny because Roy is yelling at Dot, who does not care about his battle with Spearow. And Dot says, I don't care about Spearow. And little brother Roy, rather than be deterred by her not wanting to hear about Spearow, says, oh, well, you're going to think this cleaning cloth is super sick. And I laughed so loud.
Because just think about it. It's probably the first thing he's ever seen acquired via monetary transaction. I can't imagine in his little village on that island he's ever seen somebody pay money for anything.
Oh my god, it was so good. But anyway, then they ask Dot, well, what do you like? And she says, I like ancient treasures full of ancient shiny Pokemon and pendants that summon turtle monsters. And they said, whoa, well, maybe you're closer to that than you think. And they
Yeah.
polished their little treasures with the cleaning cloth.
I do think it's very funny that Liko's just been watching the live stream in front of the door the whole time.
She hasn't been.
She hasn't been.
Yeah.
Sprigatito
That'd be cool if she was.
Sprigatito gets so excited about that Pokeball for some reason.
Wait. Then how did they end up in front of Dot's door?
Because Roy wanted to tell her all about the battle with Spearow and thank her for the drawing and talk about his cleaning cloth.
Oh, right.
They finally leave. Dot complains about them, but she gets a text from Murdoch Geese. What's the text about?
Murdoch in the town got a hard-to-find recipe book.
Ooh. And then we cut to nighttime. Wait, did we mention earlier on that Rito and Feroy were going on about, oh man, we just want Dot to eat the secret snacks. That's why we put him in here.
I don't think so.
That's an important plot point. Frito and Murdoch every day make treats so Dot, who only eats gummy bears, will eat the treats. And every night they check and they see she didn't eat the treats. So then that's why they eat the treats.
I think that's actually why Abstellion was in the cupboard earlier, too, and attacked
Al
Liko.
Creamy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, we cut to night, Clambos, and we see it's finally happening. Dot is sneaking into the secret snacks cabinet.
Question. What do you think got her out of there? Do you think it was talking to Liko?
A combination of things got her in there. Everything on top of everything that happened this episode. The new book, the talking, the getting flustered in the live stream. She's actually feeling bad because Quaxley's giving her a hard time about being so rude.
Oh,
She's
Quaxley.
finally opening up, Clambos.
Mm-hmm.
And that donut she eats looks so good.
Mulholland is such a good chef. If you look at those donuts, like that glazing on that thing is incredible.
Okay, my stomach's starting to rumble. We can't keep talking about this donut.
Oh, just donuts with the boys.
Does look very good. And then she eats it, and then we cut to Murdoch and Fritos in there later on in the night, and Murdoch's so happy that she ate the donut. He says, finally. And they celebrate.
Is there coffee in Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
what
joking?
What are you talking about?
I'm furious at Taylor.
No, I mean, I haven't, like, just a pot of coffee sitting around, or is it just something that you get in, like, a vending machine or at a cafe?
Both, everywhere.
All of the above?
Yep.
I was wondering, my question is more, is there a utility to coffee, or is it just a drink?
Yeah, that's caffeine. Gets you.
Okay, all right. I just don't see a coffee pot in the kitchen.
Well, I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay.
See Captain Pikachu and Frito, they're snoozing in the control room. It's sunrise and Geese. Where have we arrived?
Finally, Paldea.
We did it.
Adventure's starting, Geese.
Finally.
And that, Clambos, is the end of the episode. I hope you liked it because this is the best episode. Geese, tell us about the seminar.
It's a good episode. Going over it again? Change my tune a little bit. By far greatest episode. I don't know, but very
of
good
this
episode.
series, I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's not. There's no other episode I was laughing and having a great time. Geese, please tell us about the seminar.
Today's seminar is about Spearow, and Spearow is a bird Pokemon that fights bravely, even against stronger Pokemon, in order to protect a certain thing. And what do you think that thing is? A, justice, B, their territory, or C, their pride.
Justice, final answer.
I wanted this to be all of the above more than anything.
Fights for justice. No, Clambos. Taylor, tell them the real answer.
It's just justice.
No, it's for their territory. They're territorial bird, Clambos. What can I tell you? What can I say? Oh.
Territorial old bird.
We do get a funny image of little Captain Pikachu climbing up a tree, getting very shocked when he sees 3 Spearow up on a branch. Probably because he realizes Spearow are very territorial. Ooh, Geese is taking off her hat. Something serious going on. She's scratching her head. Uh-oh.
She's thinking about birds and territoriality.
I got my scalp sunburned at the beach. So
Geese, no.
That 1 hour I wasn't wearing a hat.
Don't 1 hour. All right, Geese, it's time for the wrap up. We've been going too long. Geese has got to go. I'm sleepy. Taylor's got to eat.
I have to go pick some
Benedict.
blueberries.
Oh my god.
You have to go harvest blueberries?
Yes.
That's
Harvest
pretty
your
sick.
okay, go ahead, Geese.
Dedicate that to Hogator. Ho,
Wait.
ho, ho, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please follow us on social media at Look Listen Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Nice. That was
Thank
a
you
good,
to Keith.
That's
Thank
a good
you.
amount of like.
She's on a roll. You can't stop her, Taylor.
Thank you to Keith for our artwork. Please find him at twitch.tv/Keith Squared.
Find him.
Find him and thank him.
Thank you to all of our supporters. You can go to looklistencast.com and click the link that says Anchor that's actually Spotify for podcasters. You can support us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you, Professor Ticklebits, for the boilerplate.
Thank you. Hey, please recommend this podcast to your friends and family, grandmas and nephews and nieces, and leave.
You know anyone from India? Pass it around.
Give a little thumbs up and 5 stars in the podcast. Leave a little comment on the YouTube and press the little thumbs up. And most importantly, please send an email into looklistencast@gmail.com. Much like Artie Fine did. Geese or Taylor, rock, paper, scissors. Who's going to read the question from Artie Fine?
I'll just do it.
Geese will just do it.
I'd love to read it. Thank you. Oh, we better decide. If only we had a game of chance to decide who was going to read it. Nah, I'm joking. You can do it on account of you grew up on a small island. See, writers of Pokemon, this is what you should do. Go on, Geese.
Okay. Artie Fine asks, aside from Pokemon, what is one thing you would go to great lengths to complete a collection of? If money were no object, my choice would be one of each model of C.F. Martin guitars.
Well, Artie Fine, if money was no object, of course it would be an entire collection of Game Boy games boxed. Oh my God, something about Game Boy games, they just, just looking at them.
They're very exciting.
I know a lot of people collect a lot of different games, a lot of different retro games, but nothing does it for me like a Game Boy box in terms of max nostalgia and happiness looking at it. Super Nintendo would do it pretty well too, but not as much as a Game Boy box.
So one of the hallmarks of people with ADD is that we really like collecting things. So I have a lot of I have all of the Final Fantasy.
Geese is nodding her head and her little smirks going and her eyebrows are covered by her hat, but I can tell they're going too.
I also have ADD.
Hey, haven't seen you at the meetings. So this is going to surprise both of you. I would want a collection, money no object, of one of those little Christmas villages.
Geese, if you don't say money no object at some point in your answer, I'm going to lose it.
Just a full village. Or
I love those.
Huge Lego city.
Oh.
Super sick. I mean, the collections I already have are mainly art books, figures, mainly from Final Fantasy, but from a lot of other games. And then diving equipment, I have a bunch of different lights, a bunch of
his collection.
Yeah. Also, side note before Geese's answer, people who are giving negative reviews of Final Fantasy games, don't say you're a big fan of Final Fantasy and say you only like 2 Final Fantasies. Everybody's like, oh, I love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games of all time, and I don't really care for the other ones. I like every Final Fantasy. I got flustered.
Let me defend Taylor real quick. The boy has played pre-patch Type 0 HD, where if you turn the camera, you immediately vomit from motion sickness.
So much vomit.
The boy has played World of Final Fantasy on disc, not even free through PlayStation Plus. Geese is looking through the window, so you better let her talk, because we're losing her to the birds.
Oh God, we're losing Geese. Come on back, Geese. Come on.
Can't compete with the birds outside. She is distracted.
Speaking of birds, if money was no object,
got him.
I would collect the seasonal birds that Target sells. The little $5, 7 inches tall, and they're wearing things. I have one, it's a bird that's birding, so it has like little binoculars. I would collect all of those, but they're really hard to get because they sell out fast and they resell on eBay for so expensive, even though they're only $5.
Luckily, money is no object.
No object.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, I would collect those.
Very sick. Clambos, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, Artie Fine, for the question. We'd talk more, but we've been going a while, and we got stuff to do. So we'll see you next time. Geese says goodbye.
Times 3.
Goodbye.
Maybe Taylor says goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.